A community development strategy is a long-term plan that identifies the strengths and weaknesses of a community and how they can be leveraged to make changes that promote human development and overall economic progress for the people. To discuss this, we have His Royal Majesty, Air Vice Marshal Lucky Ochuko Ararile, retired, Aweke the First, and the Ovie of Umuawa Abraka Kingdom in Ethiopia East Local Government Area of Delta State. Please join me in our discussion with His Royal Majesty, AVM Ararile, retired. Okay, Your Royal Majesty, we want to thank you very much for being in our Magoni studios. Very good to see you. First of all, before I go to your kingdom and all the wonderful things that you're doing there, you've made this transition from, you're retired Air Vice Marshal of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And you made this transition from that very high, lofty level in the Armed Forces of our dear nation to the community. Tremendous, service to the people. How has that transition been for you? I've been served in Abuja throughout the country, and now you are in the village running things for your people. How has that transition been, Your Royal Majesty?
Well, it's a mixed bag. Yes, moving from the city. Abraka, by the way, is not actually a village. It's an urban area in Delta State.
Yeah, that's right.
So, moving over there is a different kettle of fish.
Yes.
But it's an honor to be called by your people to serve. So, in essence, I would say that I've been a man of service, having served my country for 36 years in the Air Force. Now, I've been called for higher duties, I would say.
Absolutely, yes.
So it's been challenging, not in terms of the human relations, but in terms of the institutional context of the calling. Because strictly speaking, within Nigeria here, there's no constitutional responsibility that has been defined for traditional rulers. So when you get there, you have to create a niche. You actually operate on the goodwill of your subjects and their acceptance and the level of influence that you can have over them. So in essence, it's a test of leadership.
What is if there is one particular challenge, for developing a community that you have faced? You say, okay, now I've got to these people, my people have called me to come home. What has been the real big time challenge that you've faced for developing your community?
Resources.
Okay.
In one word, resources. I have the cooperation of my subjects. I have their enthusiasm to work. They're equally enthusiastic to go beyond where they are. But by the definition of the institution, there are no constitutional powers. Okay. So you do not have resources that are committed as you do in other tiers of government. Yes. Okay, so that is the major challenge. Be that as it may, when you find yourself in that type of situation, you have to be creative. And that is exactly what I've applied. And I'm happy to report that we made some success of what we found on ground.
What should the government do? What should we do as a country to make the community the really core unit of a place for these things to happen?
Historically, the monarchy is all about land.
Yes.
With the Land Use Act that has been taken away from the traditional institution. So a very key necessary condition for development is outside the control of the monarchy.
Okay.
So one of the things we have to do, we must look at the land use decree.
Okay.
And to the extent that individual communities can develop the way they want. For example, my initial idea, the first step I took was to have an idea of the nature, the characteristics of my subjects.
Yes.
So we did a survey. We were able to, about 2,000 persons were captured there. We got the whole biodata, their age, level of education, whether handicapped or not,
Sure.
even HIV prevalence, all those type of things, capture the data for the purposes of planning, knowing where to intervene, what are the problems, who are the people, basically. So we did that analysis. Going forward, we now decided to do what we call Umiagwa Development Plan. Now the purpose of that plan was to identify the strengths and weaknesses as far as areas that we can develop. One, where we can seek government assistance. Two, those that we can do on our own. Thirdly, those that we can invite international organizations and agencies to help us. So that has been the basic strategy. So what needs to be done is certain degree of autonomy at the kingdom level. Okay. That should ordinarily have been done with the creation of the local governments. But I'm sorry to report that I think of the 774 local governments we have, I don't think anyone is performing satisfactory. So it's an area where we have to look at what will be the relationship of the traditional institution with the local government.
Your Majesty, when you say autonomy, this is autonomy from who? From the local government? There's the kingdom's autonomy from the local government, or so that you become like a government, like what?
Yes, like a government. Okay. Because strictly speaking, at the level that we operate, you are the first port of call on any issue.
Yes.
You know, in fact, I would say in my own kingdom, they really don't know about the local government chairman or whatever. They hardly go there to ask for any favors. I'll ask for anything, in fact. The first port of call is me.
But they know you don't have a budget. You don't have like
they really don't care.
They don't collect taxes.
They have a problem, you are king, solve it. That is the attitude. That is why you must have to be, to succeed, you have to be very, very creative.
How creative can you be? You go to the local government to ask for money?
No,
you go to the governor?
No, no, no.
You raise the taxes of some kind?
No, you can't. You can't. Those are the type of powers that you don't have.
Yeah, so how do
you know, in terms of creativity, you have to identify those of your subjects that are of means.
Okay.
Now design a program that is developmental in nature, yes, that these people of means in your kingdom can support. Okay, either not necessarily financially. Sometimes it's just by way of contact. Yes. Okay, I'll give you an example. When I got to the throne in 2012, I think the maximum we were getting electricity per day was like 30 minutes in a month, in fact. 30 minutes in a month. So we had to ask, what are the problems? I called the PSCM manager, and he briefed me of the nature of the problems. The distribution line comes all the way from Mugeli, passes through about 4 different kingdoms before it gets to mine. So along the way, anywhere you have a problem affects us because we are downwind of the distribution chain. Okay. So that has been a problem. So what is the solution? Reinforce the distribution system. You know, that is one, but that will, according to the PSCM manager, will be expensive. The other alternative is to get supply direct from supply to Abraka. Okay. And the one from supply, they just had a substation there. According to my findings, even with this current growth rate, to not be able to exhaust the capacity in the next 20 or 30 years. So we requested that we be connected through supply. Okay. And that is why I said you have to use what you have. And in this business or in this preoccupation, contacts.
Did you get any improvement in the electricity situation as a result of your efforts?
Yes. Okay. Efforts of not just me.
You got more than 30 minutes?
Now we have even with the poor situation now, we have at least 8 hours.
Okay.
Now.
Every day?
Every day, yes.
Wow, that's wonderful.
You know,
From
so
30 minutes
yes,
a month?
in a month.
Yeah, but that's substantial.
Okay. So, but that we did
Yeah.
without actually getting any money from anybody. Apart from getting the PSCN to recognize that we have a problem in Abraka and to suggest an option to solve this problem, which they did. If I weren't there, I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have asked. I wouldn't have known the different options that are available for solving that particular problem.
Yes.
Okay, so that is one. The other thing we did was in agriculture. We've been paying lip service to agriculture. We want agriculture. Abraka is the major cassava producer in this country. And over the years, it's been through subsistence farming. And we approached the Federal Ministry of Agriculture through the state government, with the collaboration of the state government, to locate, we gave them land. And as I speak, we have about 450 hectares of mechanized cassava, probably the only one in the country now.
Mechanized?
Yes,
wow.
Mechanized.
That's amazing.
So it's in the harvesting stage, but we ran into a problem because the plant, processing plant, it was supposed to be backed up by a high-quality cassava flour plant, but that didn't materialize because of the elections and the change in government. Yeah. But however, I'm happy to report that right now a team has gone from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and the Delta State Ministry of Agriculture. They've gone on down to see what we are doing. So in the shortest possible time, we may get a plant there. And this is a plant that can process about 240 metric tons per day of high-quality cassava. And down the road, we expect that other value additions will come on. For example, we can process starch, can get glucose, a lot of other byproducts on the cassava. Yeah. But the principal one will be, which the federal government is established, is a high-quality cassava flour. Other things will follow. So we can create jobs in that respect. And so the area of intervention, that is why it was fundamental that we had the electricity issue sorted out.